so lovely to be on this stage with all of you. Thank you so much for coming today. This is the second year BFA presentation. They're working on historical worlds compositions. So I'd love that for them to hear you and give them an applause. This unit is part of a whole year package, and it's really dear to me because now I'm going to cry. But one of my mentors is in the audience today. I have a bunch of my mentors in the audience, but one of them is Gina Laurie Riley, and she gifted me a lot of what we did this year. So this year, we have been working on Greek tragedy, and we brought in a Nigerian play in the fall to help us devise a Greek piece. Then we worked on commedia dell'arte archetypes and playing around with how we can interlace fantasy and spontaneity and postmodern elements into the commedia world. And then after Christmas, we started with medieval styles. So like, if you were cast in a medieval movie, what would you have to be standing like? What do you have to do? What are the manners? What are the beliefs? That sort of thing. And then we moved through Elizabethan, Restoration, and Victorian. So it was a very, very busy year. Restoration this year, they took what they learned from me and brought it into their acting class. So those that saw the Restoration scenes, they brought them into their acting class with Lee Wilson. And so what you're about to see today is their original compositions made by a beautiful group of artists. Last night they were here till 12 almost because the lights went out in the acting studio, one of the main lights, and so they rejigged and reformed their entire pieces to fit the best they could here. We had Maddie and Preetham took hold of the booth and decided to just run it like a show. So I'm really proud of them, and we were giddy by the time we left because there was so much fun. We were just like creating on the fly a lot. We'd say, that doesn't work, and nobody took offense. It was like, cut that, move here, go there, and they were just loving every second of it. So that's the part I want to say is that the joy and the atmosphere this semester has been just so wonderful and inspiring for me. Now, you'll see on the program, we're going to start with medieval and work through to a kind of a mashup to Clue. That's more Victorian, but it's got a 1940s Clue feel. There are a few content disclosures. There's some violence. There's some fake violence, of course, and some fake weapons. There's a revolver, that sort of thing. And there's some themes of mental health, some themes of domestic abuse, and some dark atmospheres that are really fun. But if it's too much for you, again, you can just close your eyes or your ears, or tap out, or take a hike. Okay, so I mean that in a loving way. And then the other thing to think about is they picked these characters. So they are anchoring their work in research. They've picked characters from these time periods, and it's the essence of the time period. We did the very best we could with the shops. We took as many costume pieces as we could get. We're so thankful that we were allowed to use them, but it's an essence. It's not exact. So if you're a historian, please forgive us for those little mistakes. So they have an anchor, they have a question, and they've done all their research. Any text that you hear has been borrowed from the historical research, memoirs, letters that they've converted into monologues, and that sort of thing. So I'm really excited for you to see their works. They've designed them from the ground up, and this is their very first public presentation. Some of them, it's their first draft that they're being so brave in sharing, and some it's their third draft, okay? So anyway, thank you so much for your time today and coming out, and please give them a round.
A long time ago, in the country of England, there were knights, young men who swore to fight on behalf of a lord. They were beacons of glory, of chivalry, and of strength. Many of them united under the banner of the great King Arthur to help protect the land of England. But they were not the only men of prowess, for elsewhere in the north of Africa lived a young man called Morian.
I promise on my faith that I will be faithful to my Lord, never cause him harm, and will observe my homage to him in good faith and without deceit. I've never had a lord. These lands were to be mine own, mine and my mother's. But my father, a knight, abandoned us in search of another, and my mother was ashamed to have a son without a husband. Without him, we are disinherited. I swear I shall find him, even if I must scour every corner of the earth. If ever I meet a knight, I should fight him, or he should perchance tell me tidings of my father.
So, Meaghen ventured to England and found many knights to fight indeed. He continued in this way until he came across two knights of the highest caliber, Sir Lancelot and Sir Gawain, each lauded for their courage and chivalry. But Meaghen was not deterred. Knights! I swore an oath. Every knight I meet gets to choose. Answer my questions and give me the one thing which I desire, or guard ye against my spear. And when Lancelot did not give in, a battle ensued! Gawain split them apart. Only then could the men converse. Meaghen told them his story, and Gawain told them how they had heard tell of Algavail, his father, alive but injured, as well as a stern talking to about the cause no harm part of his oath.
God the Father of all, grant that I may amend this misdoing to your honor. Forgive me, Sir Lancelot, for I did evil and not else.
Moved by his story, and emboldened by his resolve, Lancelot and Gawain forgave him, and even offered to join him on his quest. Together, they journeyed across England in search of Algavail. A journey on which Meaghen had much to think about. He hadn't exactly abandoned anyone, sure, but he hadn't withheld the tenets of his oath to the best of his ability either.
I had no one to learn from.
Sure, but you know now. You can't just replace courage, loyalty, or emotional strength with physical strength alone.
Does that mean I will find my father? What does it profit a man to labor if he knows it to be in vain?
Patience is also a knightly virtue. And sure enough, soon Meaghen and his party came to an abandoned chapel. They heard tell that Algavail was here, covering, mere inches away, was the person Meaghen had been longing to see. Knight! I rashly swore an oath that I would fight every knight I met unless he answered my questions. I pray you will oblige me the same. Do you recall how Seeking Sir Lancelot, you ventured to the land of the Moors, and there courted a maiden. How she gave you favors before you departed again on your quest. Do you still think of her? And how you swore to return as soon as might be, to rightfully marry her? If so, know that she who gave you such was my mother. She didn't know she bore me when you parted. And she should be your wife if you would keep your oath. So I have searched for you at her behest and at mine. Will you, sir, come with me and restore all our honors? As any good knight should, Algavail accepted the offer. But as for their journey home to his and Morian's rightful place, that is a story for another time.
Peter Fedorovich and Sophia Augusta Frederica, now known as Catherine the Great, married on August 21st, 1745, in St. Petersburg, after Empress Elizabeth arranged for their marriage to secure an heir for the throne.
Ready to like my new husband, had he been capable of affection or willing to show any. But in the very first days of our marriage, I came to the sad conclusion about him. I said to myself, if you allow yourself to love this man, you will be the unhappiest creature on this earth. With your temperament, you will expect some response from him, whereas he scarcely looks at you, talks of nothing but dolls or such things, and pays more attention to any other woman than yourself. You are too proud to complain, therefore keep on a leash any affection you feel for him. I had resolved never to love without restraint a man who could not return this love in full.
Catherine? What is this I hear about you sticking your nose into global politics?
I am unsure of what you mean. You'll have to be more specific.
The Chauvelins have come to me and told me you are plotting trades with the embassies of France.
Yes, I believe that if we have correspondence with France, it will allow for an influx of arts and sciences to enter Russia. I've already spoken to the Empress.
Do you know how this looks on me? It's as though I cannot control even my own wife, let alone a whole country.
My apologies, sir. I was unaware you cared for appearances.
Pardon me.
You heard me.
I could have your tongue cut out for the lesser insult.
Very well. If this is how you would like to settle things, grab me a sword and we will settle this as men. Or you can head to bed and we can be done here.
The Empress is dead. Long live Emperor Peter III of Russia.
For my first act as Emperor, I will be returning to Prussia everything we gained after the last 7 years of war.
Peter has managed to enrage the entire country with every public appearance he makes and every act he enforces. The nobles, the clergy, and the military are all prepared to turn against him. What's more, is he has become a threat to my position at court and potentially my life. I fear if I do not act now, everything I have been working towards will be lost. I have to do what's best for Russia.
I never wanted to marry Catherine. The Empress forced it upon me, a marriage of convenience. But now the Empress is dead, I can be with who I want, and that is you. But I must hurry. I've heard talks of Catherine talking to the military, plotting behind my back. We must act quickly and quietly.
Peter, they have requested us for your portrait.
Very well.
Catherine arrived at the Winter Palace in Oranienbaum with 14,000 soldiers, leaving Peter no choice but to sign a letter of abdication. After only being in power for 6 months.
I came over with natural spirits, eagerly awaiting to be queen of a gay court. But I found myself as confined as in a convent. I must check my spirits. He has made me fearful and cautious to an extreme. And by the time I was allowed my own amusements, well, my mind was formed in a different manner of life. I now think my domestic happiness is in my own power. And will be in yours as well, yes.
Kids, gather round. I have a story to tell you of your father and I one Christmas long ago. But we must finish decorating this tree. My gosh. One day, I was just decorating the tree by myself. You know your father. He was way too busy to help me. And he rushed in the room in a huge hurry. He had letters in his hand. And he was addressing me in German, which he never does. Oh, I accepted the letters, with a little bit of hesitation, of course, and I offered to kiss his hand. I was so pleased. Your father decided to bring me the letters himself. But he would not let me kiss his hand. No, no, no. Instead, he offered to kiss my hand. And of course, I would not let him. I presented him with my cheek. And with just as much affection, he kissed me right there. Oh. And then we went on decorating the tree together. It was such a lovely moment. It's one of the fondest moments I've ever had with your father. But we must finish getting this decorated or else we're never going to get this done.
This is George's handwriting.
Circumstances have since arisen that might make those courts more doubtful of the stability of the councils of this country. A long experience and serious attention to the strange events that have successfully arisen has gradually prepared my mind to expect the time when I should no longer be of utility to this empire. That hour is now come. I am therefore resolved to resign my crown and all the dominions appertaining to it to the Prince of Wales, my eldest son. And may I, to the latest hour of my life, though now resolved forever to quit this island, have the comfort of hearing that the endeavors of my son be crowned with better success. What has become of me? I am Sophia Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz. I was 16 years old when I became queen. George and I got married on the day we met. George and I will have 15 children, 9 boys, 6 girls, 3 of which will not survive to adulthood. I am known as the most productive queen of England. I will bring traditions such as the colorful Christmas tree. Young Mozart will play for me. Princess Augusta will not like me. I had no relations with my ladies-in-waiting. My coronation was in shambles. I did love George. I do love George.
I am His Majesty's most dutiful and proud wife, but
Dearest Edgar, I know that you've been so busy, you've forgotten to write. Dearest Edgar, I know that you must be having a fun away from home because you seem to have forgotten about home. Dearest Edgar, I know you love your work, but I wish you loved me as much as you loved. Give me a cottage for my home. Ever with thee I wish to roam. Give me a cottage for my home. Ever with thee I wish to roam. Give me a cottage for my home. Ever with thee I wish to roam.
Deep into that darkness, peer, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word.
Edgar?
This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, Lenore. Merely this and nothing more.
Oh, Edgar. Oh, ever with thee I do wish to roam. Dearest, my life is thine. Oh, we'll be so perfect, and it'll just be ourselves. We'll be so peaceful and blissful forever.
stand it anymore. I can't stand their opinions. What do they know about us? They just have these tattling tongues. Oh, it's true, Edgar. I wish that we lived in a cottage on our own, and we could escape the tattling of all those tongues. They're so loud, Edgar. Oh my God. Edgar. Alan. Oh. Ever with thee I wish to roam. Thee, dearest, my love is thine. Gee, give me a cottage for my home, and a rich old cypress vine, removed from the world with its sin and care, and the tattling of many tongues. Love alone shall guide us when we are there. Love shall heal my weakened lungs. And oh, the tranquil hours we'll spend, never wishing others may see. Perfect ease we'll lend ourselves to the world in its glee. Ever peaceful and blissful will be. Dearest Edgar, I know.
Okay, settle.
My name is Sarah Forbes Bonetta. I was born in West Africa and later kidnapped by King Gizo of Dahomey, who murdered the rest of my family and kept me alive to be a human sacrifice. I was rescued by the Royal Navy Captain Frederick Forbes, who convinced the king to present me as a gift to the Queen of the British Empire. I was also born with some travel marks on my face, meaning I have royal blood, born a princess and a Bado princess. Ladies. Never either love or marry him.
He is a good man.
But I don't love him.
I know you do not care for him now, but you will learn to love him.
It is impossible for us to make each other happy.
I am intelligent. A Yoruba princess from West Africa, and now protege to Queen Victoria. But how can I feel like royalty when everything I want is so far out of reach for a person of my gender and race? I gotta write to Mama. My dearest Mama, I have been in a state of mental miseries and indecision ever since your second letter came in yesterday. I should have sat down and write to you the moment it arrived. But remember that you have said, take time to consider. I don't feel a particle of love for him. Never have done so. Though now is a year since he last asked. What am I to do? Please tell me, dear Mama. And don't tell me decide as you feel. Am I to barter my peace of mind for the sake of money? No. Never. Yours, affectionately, Etta.